Did you know that in 2026, more countries are tightening their borders and shutting out foreign workers like never before? And sadly, many of these new rules are now hitting Filipinos, from stricter visas, to labor bans, to immigration crackdowns that are putting thousands of dreams on hold. For years, Filipinos have helped build economies and care for families across the world. But what happens when the doors that were once open start closing one by one? Today, we reveal the 10 countries slamming their doors on Filipinos in 2026, and the real reasons behind these new restrictions. Make sure to watch until number 1, because it will affect the most Filipinos worldwide. This is a wake-up call we cannot ignore. Number 10. Japan. Japan was once a top destination for Filipino workers, especially under the Technical Intern Training Program or TITP. But in 2026, Japan is tightening its rules. The government is now requiring higher Japanese language proficiency, stricter qualifications, and tougher screening for foreign trainees. Many applicants who would have passed before are now getting rejected. Another major change is Japan's growing shift toward automation and robotics. With an aging population and a shrinking workforce, Japan is investing heavily in machines that can replace low-skill labor. Robots are now taking over factory lines, warehouse tasks, and even some caregiving roles, jobs that were once open to many Filipinos. Because of these changes, the demand for foreign workers, including Filipinos, is slowly declining. Japan is prioritizing highly skilled professionals, not trainees or low-skill labor. For many Filipinos who once dreamed of working in Japan, the door is not fully closed, but it is becoming harder and harder to enter. Number 9. Canada. For many Filipinos, Canada has always been a dream destination, a country known for high salaries, peaceful communities, and a clear path to permanent residency. But in 2026, that dream is becoming harder to reach. Because of overwhelming applications from foreign workers and international students, Canada is introducing stricter immigration reforms. Fewer slots, tougher requirements, and longer processing times are now expected for those hoping to enter. The government calls this their population stabilization policy. With migrants growing faster than their system can handle, Canada is facing major pressure in housing, healthcare, and job availability. As a result, they are cutting down on foreign workers and limiting student visas to control the rapid surge. And since Filipinos are one of the largest migrant groups in Canada, our community will be heavily affected by these changes. The door to Canada is not fully closed, but it is no longer wide open. The process has become more competitive, more expensive, and more demanding than ever before. For Filipinos who still dream of living in Canada, one question remains: are you ready for this new reality in 2026? Oh wait, before we continue, we'd love to hear from you. Do you agree with these issues? What's your opinion on this topic? Drop a comment below and tell us what you think. And don't forget to include where you're from, so we can see how far this video has reached. Number 8. South Korea. South Korea has been one of the most popular destinations for Filipino workers under the Employment Permit System, or EPS. But in 2026, South Korea is becoming more cautious and selective. Due to rising cases of overstaying and illegal work among foreign laborers, the government is tightening its screening process and imposing stricter rules for incoming workers, especially in manufacturing. The South Korean government wants to protect its system and avoid abuse, which is why they are now focusing on workers with clean records, stronger credentials, and higher compliance. Instead of opening more doors, they are reducing the number of approved applicants and prioritizing countries with lower violation rates. Unfortunately, this means more Filipinos may face rejections or longer waiting times. The door to South Korea is still open, but only for those who meet tougher standards, With fewer slots, stricter monitoring, and greater competition, many Filipinos who once saw Korea as a reliable opportunity now have to think twice. In 2026, entering South Korea is no longer just about applying. It's about proving you are highly compliant, fully qualified, and zero risk in the eyes of their system. Number 7. Kuwait. For years, Kuwait has been one of the top destinations for Filipino domestic workers, offering higher salaries and a chance to provide a better life for their families back home. But behind the promise of opportunity lies a dark history of abuse, overwork, unpaid salaries, and heartbreaking stories that shock the Philippines. These repeated cases of exploitation have created a diplomatic storm between the two nations, slowly pushing Kuwait to tighten its doors on Filipino workers. Because of these ongoing issues, Kuwait and the Philippines have gone through a cycle of ban lift, especially for domestic workers. The tension grew even worse after high-profile cases involving the deaths of Filipino workers, cases that went viral worldwide. As a result, both governments have struggled to find a long-term solution, and Kuwait has become more defensive and more selective, especially when Filipinos file more complaints than other nationalities under their visa system. Now in 2026, Kuwait is expected to remain stricter or even slam the brakes harder on Filipino deployment, particularly for household service workers. With the kafala system still in place, many believe Filipinos are at greater risk compared to other migrant groups. And unless both countries reach a stable and lasting labor agreement, Kuwait will continue closing its doors, leaving thousands of Filipinos searching for safer opportunities elsewhere. Number 6. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has long been the top destination for Filipino workers, especially in construction, hospitality, and household service jobs. For decades, millions of OFWs helped build the kingdom's economy, from roads and skyscrapers to hotels and oil facilities. But today, the landscape is changing. Under Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia is pushing hard to reduce its dependence on foreign labor, and Filipinos are among those being directly affected by these sweeping reforms. At the heart of this shift is the Saudization policy, also known as the NIDACAT program, which requires companies to replace foreign workers with Saudi nationals. The government wants more jobs reserved for locals, especially in retail, HR, administration, transport, and other sectors where many Filipinos used to thrive. As a result, thousands of expats, including Filipinos, have lost jobs, faced non-renewal of contracts, or struggled to secure new work visas as companies prioritize hiring Saudis to avoid penalties. Because of these strict labor nationalization measures, 2026 could bring even tighter doors for OFWs hoping to work in Saudi Arabia. While Filipinos will still be needed in certain sectors like healthcare and technical fields, opportunities in many other industries are shrinking fast. With Saudi Arabia determined to put its own citizens first, more Filipinos may soon be forced to look for opportunities in other countries, or risk being left behind by a system rapidly closing in on foreign workers. Number 5. Hong Kong. For many years, Hong Kong has been a top destination for Filipino workers, especially domestic helpers seeking stable income and clear labor protections. But heading into 2026, that door is slowly narrowing. Because of an economic slowdown and rising unemployment among locals, the Hong Kong government and many employers are now prioritizing local workers over foreign hires. Another major reason is the declining demand for domestic helpers. More households are cutting costs, relying on part-time local services, or shifting to automated home tools and smart appliances. As a result, job openings for domestic workers are shrinking, and when positions do become available, employers are becoming far more selective, raising standards and tightening requirements that directly affect Filipino applicants. If this trend continues, Filipinos seeking work in Hong Kong will face fiercer competition, limited opportunities, and tougher qualifications in 2026 and beyond. What was once a reliable destination for thousands of OFWs is now becoming harder to enter, forcing many Pinoys to explore other countries for a chance at a better life. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future uploads. Also, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about this topic. We're all ears. Number 4. United States. For decades, the United States has been the ultimate dream destination for millions of Filipinos, a place of opportunity, freedom, and the promise of a better life. But by 2026, that American dream is becoming harder to reach. With the possible return of stricter immigration policies under a Trump administration, the U.S. is expected to tighten its borders once again, affecting visa applicants, Filipino workers, and even longtime immigrants hoping for a fresh start. One of the biggest concerns is the crackdown on visa approvals, asylum cases, and undocumented workers. Under these tougher rules, applications will face heavier scrutiny, longer processing times, and a higher chance of denial, especially for those without strong financial, employment, or sponsorship ties. This means more Filipinos could be blocked at the entry point, or worse, face deportation if they fail to meet new immigration standards. If these policies push through, thousands of Filipino families in America may be separated, and many OFWs may lose their chance to work or migrate to the U.S. The country that once symbolized hope for so many Filipinos is now becoming one of the hardest to enter. And for countless Pinoys still dreaming of the American life, 2026 might be the year the door begins to close. Number 3. Australia. Australia has long been a favorite destination for Filipinos, especially students hoping to study, work, and eventually build a new life through permanent residency. But in 2026, that pathway is becoming tougher than ever. With new student visa reforms and tighter work restrictions, Australia is putting stronger barriers in place for those dreaming of a long-term future in the country. One of the biggest changes is the crackdown on the education to PR route. For years, many foreign students, including Filipinos, used student visas as a stepping stone to residency. Now, the Australian government is raising financial requirements, limiting work hours, and tightening post-study work permits. Their goal is clear: fewer low-skilled migrants, and more highly qualified workers that directly match Australia's labor priorities. Because of these reforms, fewer Filipinos may be able to study, work, or settle in Australia starting 2026. What was once seen as a welcoming land of opportunity is now becoming harder to access, and for many Pinoy students and workers, the Australian dream may soon demand a higher price than ever before. Number 2. Qatar. After the FIFA World Cup, Qatar's labor landscape began to change dramatically. The country that once welcomed thousands of low-wage migrant workers, including many Filipinos, is now shifting its focus. Instead of mass hiring, Qatar is prioritizing high-skill and certified professionals, reducing opportunities for low-skilled foreign workers starting 2026. Today, employers in Qatar increasingly prefer applicants with technical qualifications, licenses, and specialized training. With the rise of automation, digital systems, and stricter industry standards, many of the manual and entry-level jobs once dominated by OFWs are slowly disappearing. As requirements become tougher and screenings become stricter, more Filipinos are being filtered out before they even arrive. If this direction continues, fewer Filipinos will be able to work and stay in Qatar in the coming years. The same country that relied on the strength and dedication of OFWs is now closing its doors to low-wage workers in favor of a more skilled labor force. And for many Pinoys, 2026 marks a turning point. Adapt, upgrade, or be forced to seek opportunities elsewhere. Number 1. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has long been one of the top destinations for Filipinos, especially nurses, caregivers, and healthcare workers searching for a stable career and a brighter future. But in 2026, the UK is imposing stricter immigration thresholds and much higher salary requirements, making it harder for many Filipinos to qualify for work visas and long-term opportunities. What used to be a promising path is now becoming one of the toughest to enter. Under the new rules, applicants must meet higher income standards, stricter employer sponsorships, and tighter background checks. For Filipino nurses, caregivers, and entry-level workers, this means that if their job offer or salary does not meet the new requirement, their visa will be denied, no matter how skilled or experienced they are. The UK government's goal is to reduce the number of foreign workers and prioritize locals, even in sectors where Filipinos have long played a vital role. Because of these changes, thousands of Filipinos hoping to work in the UK may have to delay, requalify, or give up their plans entirely. The country that once welcomed Filipino healthcare workers with open arms is now closing its doors to many of them. And for countless Pinoys who dreamed of building a life in the United Kingdom, 2026 is a painful reminder that even the most stable opportunities can disappear overnight. And that wraps up our list of the 10 countries slamming doors on Filipinos in 2026. The world is changing fast, so staying informed is more important than ever. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss our next uploads. See you again next time. Stay safe, and God bless.